Alright, we're back. So yeah, like I said, when I left off now, it's talking about how, like, in this one it seems more like a virus, and I do like that. In the other one, it seems like she projected her anger and just hatred onto the tape, whereas this one, it seems like it was more just like a broadcast, like, because it kind of, like, in this one, the kids, like, they're trying to record, like, a ball game on the TV, and this comes over to static. So yeah, it's almost like, it was more. I don't know what I'm trying to say, actually, but yeah, it's more, yeah, yeah. It's late, give me a break. What can I do? But yeah, no, it's really good. This one spawned just like Ju-on. This spawned like 4 sequels. I guess there's like another Japanese remake even, and of course you guys know the American remake and its sequel. So this was huge. Like, this was actually like the biggest. Like, this was almost like The Exorcist of Japan. And when it came out, I mean, it caused mass hysteria and all that stuff, So, one thing I thought was kind of interesting about this, too, was, in The Ring, like, The Ring comes from the fact that, like, whenever she was in the well, she looks up, you see, like, the outline of the light from above, and it forms a ring. Nothing like that in this at all. Like, she is in the well and everything. They don't really bring that whole, fucking ring thing up. So, and the other one's, like, there's the next sequel, oddly enough, is not called The Ring 2. Even though The Ring 2 comes later, it's called Razin, which I guess means spiral. And I guess they all kind of have the same. Like, one of them I think is called The Loop. Don't quote me on that. But I know for a fact the next one's called Spiral. So they all got this whole. And I guess it's just, it's a cycle. What they're trying to do. I think that's what The Ring is supposed to be, is, it's a curse that just never ends. It just keeps going, like, So yeah, there you go. That's the thing on the Ringu. I do recommend it if you like Japanese film. I'm not gonna lie. Not a whole lot of difference between this and the American remake. I'm really kind of holding back, so when I get to the American remake, that's the one I'm gonna really fucking review and swing on its nuts hardcore. But I do recommend it. I think that if you do check it out, give it a shot. You do have to read. I'm sorry to say this. At least on this version, they didn't have any bad dubbing on this one. So there you go. All right, up next, guys, 1974 classic. This is actually in my top 10 as well. This is actually probably pretty close, up there. Probably close to top 5. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, I watched this movie when I was a kid, and I'll tell you right now, like, I heard the hype. Now, not like, The Exorcist, I heard the hype too, and I went into it and, gave the thumbs down initially. But this one I heard the hype, and, it lived up to it. Funny thing about this movie is, let me give the quick rundown. Basically, 5 teenagers are out for a little idyllic summer drive, and things turn ugly. And I do mean ugly. In this one, basically, you got the deranged family and Leatherface. That's one of my favorites right there, is just fucking Leatherface. This one, what I think is great about this movie is the fact that, it's considered one of the goriest, bloodiest movies of all time. And after I watched it, it's interesting that there wasn't a whole lot of blood. Like, not a lot at all. Like, it was almost like Halloween, how Halloween has, like, its own little reputation of being, like, bloody and everybody just. But it's good directing. Like, one of my favorite scenes is when the girl gets put on the meat hook. Classic scene. You never see the hook penetrate, though. It's like in Psycho. You never see the knife go into, Jamie Lee Curtis's mom at all. But it's what you think about up here. And same thing here. Her brother, the Marilyn Burns, I can't think of her name right now, character name, I'm horrible. Should have done my research. Whenever she's pushing her brother in the wheelchair, and Leatherface pops up and just chainsaw. Once again, I just remember that scene being extremely gory, like he's getting, checked, nothing. You don't see hardly anything. And once again, it is good directing. I mean, last week we talked about how Halloween and Night of the Living Dead were both extremely low-budget movies, and yet they were very effective. Well, and I think we even mentioned this last week, this ranks up there with them. I mean, literally, and it has, like, what I really think good about this one, and my brother mentioned this, when he was here, and he talked about this one, is that it does have that very real, documentary, gritty look to it. Like, it does look like, it's just a camera crew out there, and they're just following these kids around, and they get hacked up, by pieces. And, yeah, I mean, that's, I just think it's brilliant. It really is. Now, even though, Toby Hooper didn't really go on and do anything else that I give a shit about, except for, Poltergeist, but we talked about that last week, how he didn't really direct it, didn't have no balls, and Spielberg came in. But yeah, no, it's you know, damn good movie. And this is another movie that, okay, if you don't like horror movies, well, if you don't like horror movies, you shouldn't be, you know, watching the show anyways, I guess. But you know, if you didn't like horror movies, it's still a movie that you should check out. Like even my drama friends who are all like, horror movies suck, they watch this. They love it. I mean, it just, I don't know, it transcends genres. It really does. You know, the acting is one of those things where like the acting is just real. I'm not gonna say it's good or great, nothing, but it's real. Like, I'm pretty sure if you put any of these kids in another movie, it would just be horrible. Like, I don't see them doing, like, courtroom dramas or shit like that. But in this movie, it works out perfectly. I mean, I don't know. They just had that real vibe to it. Yeah, damn good movie. And I love how, like, midway through the focus, like, you know, the focus is original on these, you know, kids. And then when you get to the end of it, it kind of shifts to the other the family, you know, the dad who, you know, and his two kids. One's the hitchhiker, and then, you know, you got Leatherface. And, of course, you got Granddad, who, you know, used to be the best killer, apparently, back in his day, but really can't do shit now. But, yeah, no, it's a classic, you know, I don't even know what to say about it. I mean, literally, just check this out. And, you know, and the thing is, like, when I take Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like, to this generation, they all just go to the Michael Bay produced one. Now, normally, I would just say, fuck Michael Bay, but I really did like the remake. I thought the remake was really good. But I do recommend this one first. And, you know, because that's the thing, like, most people watch the remake, and they're like, well, I don't know what's special about this. No, this is it. This is brilliant right here. You can't touch this. Try touch it. No, you just can't. You can't do it. So, yeah, check it out. Classic movie right there. And I really don't know what else to say about it. Like I said, this is one of those, like, this classic movies that, like, you know, it's all been said. And all that's left to do is just check it out. So, yeah, Ringu, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you know, check them out. So, yeah, I got nothing else to say. So, you know what? We'll catch you next week. And guess what? We had no fucking production problems. That's fucking awesome right there. So, hopefully this will make it to air, and, you know, I won't have to fucking redo this again. So, do I sound a little bit bitter? I feel like I'm getting a little bitter. I apologize for that. I really do. But, yeah, I was saying, it's past 2 weeks have been hell with this show. So, you know what? Keep tuning in. I'll keep making them, alright? Later.